Welcome back. Will Guidara was just 26 years old when he took the lead at 11 Madison Park as a restaurant in New York City. That restaurant's in a beautiful space in Manhattan's Flatiron District, but the food had not yet lived up to the allure of its location. Well, 11 years later, Will had transformed that place to be named the best restaurant in the world.
Guidara thinks restaurants offer a lesson about creativity and community. His new book is called Unreasonable Hospitality, The Remarkable Power of Giving People More Than They Expect. And Will was also the inspiration for a scene in the second season of the hit show, The Bear. We'll talk about that. Good morning.
Good morning.
It seems like whether you're talking about restaurants or really any businesses, so many of them find hospitality difficult, and it's not complicated and it doesn't cost a lot of money. Why is that?
I mean, I think that when I was coming up in my career, a lot of people would tell me that you hire for hospitality and you train for excellence. As in, there are people that are hospitable and there are people that aren't. And I just don't agree with that. I think we all have hospitality in us. We just need it to be encouraged out of us. And so I don't actually think creating a culture of hospitality is hard. It just requires trying harder.
But Will, you went beyond having Johnny on the spot to refill your water. You actually explain what you do. You found out who was booking a table and you went on their Instagram. How deep does this go? Give me an example.
Well, we created a culture of empowerment where everyone on the team could come up with their own ideas that could make the experiences better, and they could bring those ideas to life, which not only made the experience for the guest better, but made the experience of working there better, because you were no longer just serving plates of food that someone else created. You were imbuing the experience with your own creativity. We had these positions on the team called dream weavers, and those people were just there to help everyone else on the team bring their ideas to life. So let's say a guest was overheard saying that it was their first time that the kids who they were dining with were seeing real snow. And this is an example of one that happened. The Dreamweavers would go out to the city, find a store still open selling sleds. And when those guests left the restaurant at the end of the night, they'd be greeted by an SUV with sleds to take them to Central Park.
Wow. Now, do you go so far as to look at who's reserving a table and do a deep dive on their social media? Is that, because that could be a very custom, but also very creepy.
I mean, listen, I don't think it's creepy. I think that hospitality is about making people feel seen, and people put things out into the world via social media because that's what they want the world to know about them. We used to give granola away at the end of every night to every guest as something to take home with them. And one time we found an Instagram account for someone who was dining with us, and the Instagram account was based solely on his love for bacon. So we made a special granola for him, one that had bacon. And listen, the moment someone receives something where the gesture shows you not only cared enough to learn something about them, but then to do something with what they heard, the reaction is priceless. And listen, I don't believe there's anything more energizing than seeing the look of complete joy on someone else's face when they receive a gift you're responsible for giving them. Unreasonable hospitality is a win-win in the sense that, yes, obviously the guests are happier, but the team is too. Everyone's struggling with staffing right now, and people are paying their team more or giving them more balance, both of which are good, but they're treating the symptoms, not the underlying condition. What we need to do to get people fired up and wanting to work in any environment is making the work more meaningful, and giving your team the ability to bestow graciousness upon others is one of the best ways to find meaning of all.
So, Will, obviously you're at the high end and you have the resources to maybe, now that you're one of the best restaurants in the world, to do a lot of these really expensive, unusual things. What about the guy who's the manager at the Applebee's or, whatever the local restaurant is, and you want to elevate your hospitality at a lower end scale? What tip would you have for those people?
I sold the restaurants before COVID, and I've spent the time since working with people at every single level, in restaurants and outside of restaurants. And listen, it's not the cost of the gesture that counts, it's the thoughtfulness that it represents. One of the stories that was most impactful that we executed was a time that guests were dining with us and talking about all the amazing meals they had. The only thing they never had was a New York City hot dog. And so I just ran outside, bought a $2 hot dog, And we cut it up and made it look all fancy. And before their final savory course, which was a honey lavender glazed Muscovy duck, we gave them what we in New York call a dirty water dog.
Oh,
saying,
wow.
we want to make sure you don't go home with any culinary regrets. And listen, I'd served Wagyu beef and lobster and caviar throughout my career. I'd never seen anyone react to anything I served them like they did to that hot dog.
Wow.
The take is creating a culture where people are inclined to listen, to not take themselves too seriously, and to do things that make their guests feel seen.
And was that the inspiration for the bear? Is that the connection?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
So the bear in episode 7, is the deep dish pizza story, is the Chicago riff on that story.
Gotcha. Well, it's fascinating to talk to you, Will. Thanks so much for joining us. The book is Unreasonable Hospitality, The Remarkable Power of Giving People More Than They Expect. Have a great one, Will. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks, Will.
Thanks for having me.